Hi guys, I know I'm like the shittest person in the world. I'm always saying that I'm going to make videos more often and then I never do it. However, my boyfriend recently started up a YouTube channel and he posted a video, and since seeing it, it kind of made me want to do videos. So I'm going to try and do them more often. I'm not going to make promises because I hate making promises that I may not keep, but hopefully I will. There's a lot of really good films and stuff coming out in the future, so at least I'll have things to actually talk about. So today I'm going to talk about the Avengers and the Cabin in the Woods. I saw them both within the last 3-4 weeks. I literally just got back from seeing Avengers or Avengers Assemble, whatever, we're just going to call it the Avengers, deal with it. And I saw the Cabin in the Woods before that. If you haven't seen the Avengers, I wouldn't really watch this video purely because I'm going to spoil it for you. If you have seen it and you disagree with anything I say, that's fair enough, but if you feel the need to start like writing it in the comments like, you noob, this is this and this is how this should be and this, blah, I don't give a shit, okay? Take your opinions, shove them in your mouth and close it. That's so bitchy. So I'm going to start with Cabin in the Woods purely because it's kind of the lesser talked about of the two. Cabin in the Woods, the original reason I wanted to go see it was because it was produced by Joss Whedon, and that's the guy who directed Avengers and wrote the screenplay and so on, and any hoozle. I am a huge Joss Whedon fangirl. The second I found out that Joss Whedon was involved in Cabin in the Woods and that he was doing Avengers, I had no fear for either of those films. I knew I was going to love them. If any of you have seen anything Joss Whedon's done, like any of his shows, you'll know that there's just no reason to worry when it comes to him. And to anyone who has now seen the Avengers film was like, that was really good, I advise you to watch anything, like any of the shows he's made, because you just won't be disappointed. He's that good all the time. Sounded inappropriate. So anyway, as I said, I went in confident that it was going to be good. Well, it was better than good. It was amazing. It took a lot of aspects from horror films and just took the piss out of them, but not in a scary movie type way, like, you know, the Scary Movie series of films. It didn't do that. It wasn't stupid. It was cleverly done. It also had quite a few actors and actresses who've been in other things that Joss Whedon's done. Joss Whedon really likes to keep reusing actors and actresses. And I like that about him. I like that when he finds someone he likes, he gives them a lot of opportunities to make it. I'm not going to talk too much about Cabin in the Woods purely because I just advise people to go see it. If you're really squeamish, maybe not. But it's not scary. It's just amazing. Simple. Anywho, moving on to Avengers, which is the main focus of this video, because my boyfriend did a review on Avengers and I'm rivaling him right now, even though he has a better camera because he's a show-off. I went in with just a few minor worries, and that was, I think, the same worries that everyone had, which was, I'm really shit with actors' names, so I'm not going to say the actors' names, I'm just going to refer to them as the characters. The Hulk, the guy who was playing the Hulk, everyone was kind of worried about that because he hadn't really been in much, and what he had been in was nothing like this. Scarlett Johansson, I know her name, as Black Widow, and that dude as Hawkeye. Although I had no fears over him. I like him as an actor, so I trusted it, and I wasn't disappointed. I'm just going to do a little briefing on what I thought of each of the characters. So I'm going to start with Iron Man. I have an unhealthy obsession with the suit. I'm not going to deny it. I am severely attractive. What? I am crazy attracted to that suit. That sounds stupid. Not even Tony Stark. Tony Stark is an amazing character. He cracks me up. What am I talking about? I don't even know what I'm saying. This review is going to be shit and everyone's going to laugh at me. Except no one's going to, because no one watches it. I don't fancy Tony Stark. However, I have the hots for the costume. Just the Iron Man costume. When he puts that costume on, it's like, oh my god. Ugh, just so, yep. And I'm not ashamed to admit it, my boyfriend knows about it, he's accepted it, so it's fine. He realises that if we ever see an Iron Man costume, I'm gonna go for it. Iron Man in this film was perfect. He was exactly what you'd expect Iron Man to be. Cocky, humorous, secretly caring. I really liked his relationship with pretty much everyone. Whether it was a good or bad relationship, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed his interactions with everyone. I'm going to go for Captain America. I was not majorly impressed with the Captain America film. It was good, but it just wasn't the best. I wasn't worried about him being in the Avengers at all, obviously. He's a main character in the Avengers. But I wasn't kind of crazy excited about seeing him in it. However, he was really good. And I really liked his take on them being soldiers. He saw himself as part of a team and fighting for others. And him and Tony Stark kind of banged heads on that because Tony Stark is more of a, if it makes me look good, I'll do it kind of character. Or is he? I also liked how kind of awkward he was because he was suddenly in a time that he didn't have much knowledge of, so technology just kind of went over his head, and there was a few amusing moments involving that, including a very amusing moment between him and Thor, because obviously Thor doesn't have that much knowledge of that world either. Moving on, Thor. I really enjoyed the Thor film, and I liked him in this film. I liked it, I feel, because at the end of the Thor film, he had bit too much fondness for humans, and in Avengers he still had that fondness, but he also had kind of taking the piss out of them a bit attitude, and I like that. He's a god after all, he can do what he likes. I've skipped over kind of the characters that are more widely known. Next up is Hawkeye. Hawkeye's good. It actually made me want to see more of Hawkeye because I feel like his character was probably the least explained out of the lot of them. With Iron Man, you had Iron Man 1 and 2, you had Captain America, you had Thor. Even the Incredible Hulk, even though it's played by a different guy, people know the background to Hulk. Hawkeye, he's still kind of a mystery, as is Black Widow. But I feel like you see more of what Black Widow's about in this film than you do Hawkeye. He's impressive. He's like modern day crazy Robin Hood without the dodgy tights. But I definitely like to see more of him. Hulk, really, really amazing. I was majorly impressed. The actor who played him was awesome. I loved his human side and his crazy rage monster side. His human side was very intelligent, so obviously him and Iron Man just geeked out together, which I really enjoyed. So I loved how out of all of them he was the calmest, even though he's the wild card of the lot of them. As the Hulk, absolutely amazing and hilarious. I was really worried at first, purely because, and this is where quite a few spoilers are going to come in, so if you haven't seen the film, just stop watching. Don't blame me if you guys are going to get angry because I'm spoiling it for you. Just don't watch. When he became the Hulk, he obviously had that interaction with Black Widow, and it kind of showed you that Hulk is not to be messed with. He is crazy. He's an animal. He's just going to go by instinct. Hulk is drawn to chaos. So that brought up the question of why would he fight with the Avengers? And then when he actually did that, my first initial thought was, doesn't make sense, because surely if he turns into Hulk right there and then, he's just going to attack all of them, whether they're friend or foe. So I had a realization during that scene, which was that, as I said, the Hulk loves chaos. So when he suddenly turns and he gets in control, and he turns around and he realizes, right, there's a few superheroes and like a demigod and stuff behind me. But he doesn't understand what that is. All he sees is like, oh look, ants, squish squish. But then in front of him is a giant alien robotic snake thing. He's like, that's more fun. And yes, there was a bit of compassion to Hulk, but there always has been. Even in like the old films, he seems to kind of remember his human side's connections with people. So he knew that he really got along with Tony Stark. So when he was Hulk, he kind of felt the need to not let Iron Man die. Black Widow. I'm just going to put it out there, guys. I'm not a Scarlett Johansson fan. I know everyone probably wants me dead right now, but whatever. I feel like a lot of the times the reason she gets roles is because of her assets. And admittedly, during this film, I was distracted by them. Even I was having a little gulp and a little... I wasn't looking forward to her being Black Widow, because Black Widow's a really kick-ass character, and he's like a reformed baddie. I was actually kind of surprised, in a pleasant way, by Scarlett Johansson. At first, I thought she was too much of a pussy to be Black Widow, and I say this because of the scene where she goes to see Loki, and he basically tells her about herself, and she gets emotional and all teary-eyed, and... Sorry, my throat is going all crazy. She gets all teary-eyed, and all I could think was, ugh, really? You have to make the one female hero just sob like a little bitch. But then it turns out that she's actually just using that to her advantage to kind of make him think that she's a weak little woman so that he'll tell her the plan, because she is great at interrogating people but making them feel like they're interrogating her. Very clever. Still, however, thought that Black Widow was a little bit too compassionate. I feel like I want to see her bad side. I'm sure many guys do. I did have faith in Joss Whedon because if you guys, like I said, if you've watched any of his other work, you'll know that he has a thing about making strong women characters, and I really respect that. The film was amazing. It had a storyline that I could follow. I never kind of thought, oh, come on, ridiculous. I just went along with it and I enjoyed it. The shots were beautiful. They were amazing. I loved it. Just amazing. And also loved Cabin in the Woods. Also equally as amazing. Fair enough, Avengers was a bigger scale film, but Cabin in the Woods, for what it was, amazing film. So lastly, I'm just going to plug my boyfriend a bit. I'm going to link somewhere. It might be here. It might not be here. I might just be doing these crazy hand gestures for nothing. It might be in my pants. If you guys watch the Vlog Brothers, you know what I'm on about there. If you guys don't, then might have just been a little bit awkward for you. Or maybe it wasn't. As I was saying, I just want to plug my boyfriend. That sounds awkward. Something that should be kept behind closed doors, maybe. He is really talented, and he's currently working with the guys from Time Agent, and they're a really talented bunch of guys, and I know they've got a lot of fans, so I know it'd mean a lot to him, even though he says he's kind of scared of exposure. It'd mean a lot to him if people kind of checked his channel out and showed him some support while he finds his bearings and comes out with some really great videos. He has an amazing camera, amazing equipment, and amazing ideas, even though every time he shares them with me I kind of criticize them. But that's in a loving way, that's in a helping way, in a, hey, if you did this, it'd be better. No, that just sounds like I think my opinions are better than his. The link will be somewhere or down. And I will speak to you guys soon. Hopefully. I'll try. Bye.